Okay, now that you have finished exporting your first-person model, your model, and your collision model of your test gun, we're going to move into the part that many people end up breaking their computers over, which is the tool part. This is the part that might not go so good as it did up to this point. Okay, what I want you to do is you need to go into your Halo CE root directory folder. We're going to go down and we're going to open up our command prompt. If you already don't have a copy of command prompt in your Halo CE root directory, I strongly suggest copying the command prompt from your system folder and putting it in here. It'll make things a lot easier than having to navigate cd space program file /Microsoft Games / Halo CE, and that should get you to there if you don't already have a copy. Alright, and at the command prompt we're going to type tool, bitmaps, weapons, /test /bitmaps, and then it should come up and create our bitmap. Now we're going to go ahead and type tool, model, weapons, /test, enter, and now it should come up and it should go through the process of creating our model for us, and it should tell you some level of detail information. And as soon as that's done, we can move on to the first person. I see we didn't create our shaders. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close command prompt so it doesn't create a blank one for us and waste our space. So we'll close command prompt, we'll open up Gorilla. Okay, we're going to go ahead and say File New, and we're going to go down and just create a shader environment. Simple parameterization. The material physics properties doesn't really matter. We just leave that at dirt, but we're just going to put it at metal thick. Alright, our base map is going to be our bitmap that we just created, so we're going to go into weapons, or tags, weapons, test, bitmaps, and then test _ metal. Go ahead and close that and save the changes to tags, weapons, test. We're going to go ahead and create a new folder, name that shaders, and name this test _ metal. Save. Okay, now we can go ahead and go back into command prompt, type tool, model, weapons, test, enter. Now it should compile our test gun correctly. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and type tool, model, weapons, test, FP, /FP. Now it should go up again and create our model. This will be our first person model. There we go. And once again, we're gonna type tool, collision, -geometry, space, weapons, /test. And there are no errors because we have a box for our collision model. If everything's happened so far without any errors, then you're good. If something did fail, go check that you've linked it to the frame or anything like that. If the collision geometry had a problem, which is most likely where people have problems, either you can go try to fix it in 3ds Max, or basically you can just delete it, because in a weapon a collision geometry isn't that important. Basically all you really have to do for a collision geometry is create a box that surrounds your weapon and then delete your weapon. Vehicles are really the only thing that are important when you're making collision geometries to make them right, other than a biped or something like that, or scenery file. If you don't get any response at all, it means that it couldn't find your JMS file. Just make sure that you have your file in the right place and that everything is in the right directory. Alright, we're almost done. We're going to go ahead and close out of this, and we're going to open up Gorilla, and we're going to say we're going to open up the plasma pistol's weapon tag. So we're going to go into weapons, plasma pistol, and we're going to open up plasma pistol.weapon. We're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to go into our test folder, test, and we're going to go ahead and save this as as test.weapon. Alright, and now we're working with that. At the top of the tag, you should over here you should see the model, animation graph, and collision models. So you're going to go ahead and click the three dots. We're going to go up to our test folder, and you should see your two things here. We're going to go ahead and double click our test.gearbox model, and then same for our collision model. Go to test, double click on our model collision geometry, and everything looks fine. Now we're going to scroll down about halfway, a little more than halfway, more towards the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and change our first person model to our test first person gearbox model. That's pretty much it. If you want to change the projectiles, I believe that is down here. Yeah, you can go ahead and change your projectile. You click here. Right now it's the plasma pistol bolt, but for this one I think we'll go ahead and I'm just going to make it sniper rifle projectile, just for the heck of it. You can change your firing effects. There's so many of them. We'll change our firing damage to the sniper rifle. We can change our misfire damage. We can basically delete. Let's just leave that. There's a lot of things you can change. Charging, because right now we did a plasma pistol, so it's going to charge. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Change the charge time over here. You can change your firing. This is rounds per second. Isn't really important right now because it's a charge thing, and you can't reload with this type of weapon because it's a plasma pistol. There's little flags for the triggers and everything like that. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. That's pretty much it for a simple gun. You can a lot of weapon flags here. You can prevent the grenade throwing when you have the weapon. You can prevent melee. You can hold the trigger when it's dropped so it keeps firing. There's several things you can do. For now, we're just going to go ahead and close this and save it. And now we have our weapon tag. The next part is to go to File, New, and we're going to go ahead and do an item collection. We're going to say Add here. We're going to go to Weapon. We're going to change our weight to 100 just to be safe. We're going to go ahead and open our weapon tag. Test.weapon. Close this and save as. In our item collections and single weapons, we're going to save it as test.item collection. Now that's pretty much it. Just add it in Sapien, and just as you would on all the other guns, and go ahead and enjoy your weapon. Just a little side note, this is more of a limited gun. It's not the most complicated thing you can do. We didn't even cover secondary fire. There's so many things you can do, as you've seen in the new Mombasa leak. There was a lot of things there. New sounds, new HUDs, everything. This is just a basic thing. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, you can PM me on Halo Mods. I'm HMC Helljumper on both the files and the regular forums. Or you can just comment if this thing makes the front page like the last one did. Alright, thank you. Also, I'd like to thank James D for his wonderful script that helps you export the gearbox model and their markers. That's a great help, and it's probably one of the only reasons most of us newer people to the Halo editing kit and its wonders are even doing weapons and things like this. Also, Zion, who wrote the original tutorial on the Halo Wiki, which has been a great guide, and the actual guide for this tutorial. Just thought it would be better if you can see it. So I'd like to thank Zion and James D for all their help, and I'll see you next time.